Hi, my name is Caitlin Spano. Welcome to my evidence-based practice, word meaning and picture associations. This practice will focus around the subject of vocabulary for a 4th grade classroom. Students will engage in independent activities, visuals, pairing, and whole group instruction in order to gain new vocabulary knowledge and be able to retain this knowledge through word associations with visual images, synonyms, and antonyms. According to Vaughn, Moody, and Schum, most students with language-based learning disabilities, 90%, have significant difficulties with reading and vocabulary development. Therefore, this EBP plays a critical role in finding ways to better help meet the needs of each student in this area of development. The find and defined method has proven to be ineffective, so this method allows students to pair images with printed words to help them remember the vocabulary more easily. This EBP provides visual representations to help students better retain the word. The chart provided will allow students to recognize similar and dissimilar words related to the vocabulary word, as well as give the students opportunities to play games to further develop memorizing each word. This method is believed to have a positive effect due to the knowledge of creating within stimulus prompts, which combine words with specific images that develop remembrance when the word is eventually given in isolation. Good morning, class. What I want you to do is think about the word increase. Now you can just think about it in your head, or if you want, you can use the whiteboards and write down your thoughts. I'm going to give you about a minute to do this. All right, everyone, I just want to remind you that this is a time for us to do quiet thinking so we're not interacting with our peers. And when I call on you, you can raise your hand nice and quietly. We're not shouting out answer. The teacher will allow the students some time to think. She will then specifically ask for background knowledge on the word she selected. All right, great. Thank you guys so much for your responses. Does anyone else have some background knowledge on what they know about the word increase? What did you think about for the past minute?
I do.
Oh, Katie, go ahead.
The word increase means to add more.
Oh yeah, that's great. I like that addition there. Now, can anyone give me a synonym for increase? Remember what synonym is? Can you remind me?
I can.
Oh, yes, Katie, go ahead.
A synonym for the word increase would be rise.
Rise, that's great, because let's remind the rest of our class what we learned last week. So a synonym is what?
Synonym is a word that means something like the word that is being said.
Yeah, that's great. All right, cool. So then can we have an antonym for the word increase?
Oh, I know. I have one.
Okay, go for it.
Decrease.
Decrease, that's great. Let me write that down. And then you said rise for a synonym, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great. And remind the rest of our class what an antonym is.
An antonym is the opposite of the word and its meaning.
Great, awesome, thank you. Okay, so now that we quickly went over synonyms and antonyms, today we are going to work on creating meaning with our new vocabulary words and discovering ways in which we can remember them better by drawing pictures and finding synonyms and antonyms of each. So we're going to be detectives and we're going to find the word meanings for the given vocabulary. So first, I will go over the completed chart that I did for you, which I'll have up in just a minute, and which is an example, and then we will do one together step by step, and then I will give you guys the opportunity to work in either groups of 2 or 3 to finish your chart yourselves. Alright, so here's the example on the board here of a replica of what you are going to have in front of you on your charts. So let me go through it step by step with you. So we have our word increase, that is our vocabulary word. Next, what you're going to do is draw a picture of the word. So here I drew a little bar graph with an arrow going up, showing that there is an increase. Then you're going to create a synonym for the word. So we came up with the word rise. Now, what if I put the word descend in here? Would that work? Can anyone tell me?
I can.
Okay, go ahead, Jessica.
No, it wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't. Why not?
Because it's the opposite. It would be an antonym.
Right, okay, perfect, thank you. So that would go in here under the antonym, which for here, we came up with the word decrease. Then finally, at the bottom of your chart, you'll provide a sentence using the vocabulary word. So here I wrote, by the end of this quarter, I expect my grades to increase. Now, does anybody have any questions before we get started?
No, Mrs. Spano.
Okay, great guys, thanks. Alright guys, so now we see here we have our new vocabulary word, which is destructive. So I gave you guys a couple of minutes to solve the mystery definition. Who can raise their hand quietly and give me a definition that they found?
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
It's something that is harmful or hurtful.
Great, yes, that's perfect. That's a good example of the word destructive. So now what type of picture might we want to draw in order to help remember what the meaning of destructive is?
Oh, I know.
Okay, go ahead.
A tornado.
Awesome, a tornado. Now, I'm not the best drawer, so bear with me here. So let's see, we'll do some windy swirls there, and that will represent our tornado. So now we can picture this in our minds every time we see the word destructive and think of it doing something very harmful. So now which section should I move to next on our chart?
Synonym.
Synonym, right. Okay, so who can give me a synonym for the word destructive?
Oh, I can.
Go for it, Jessica.
Evil.
Evil, yes, that's a great word that we can use there. And how about an antonym for this word?
I can.
Okay, Katie, go ahead.
Helpful.
Helpful, that's perfect. Now, what made you pick the word helpful? How did you know that this would be an antonym of the word destructive?
Well, sometimes my mom tells my little brother that he's being destructive, and she tells him to be helpful instead, so I just assume that that's probably the opposite.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And it definitely is an opposite of the word destructive, because we wouldn't say that a tornado is helpful, right? It's destroying things as it's, making its path.
It's evil.
It is evil. Perfect. All right, so now let's help build a sentence. What if we said something like, the storm was destructive on the city? Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
All right, great. All right, everyone, so now it's your turn to go ahead and fill out your own charts with the rest of the vocabulary words that I have set up for you. So I'm going to pass out the charts for you along with some pencils and colored pencils for you to make your pictures pretty. And you can use a regular dictionary or an iPad to search your words. And you can work individually if you want, or you can partner up with the person next to you. And just remember to use your classroom inside voices if you are working with another person, so you don't distract the rest of your peers. During this time, the teacher will monitor the students' work and provide any necessary feedback and answer any necessary questions that may arise. It is important to provide praise for correct work and jot down notes of those who seem to struggle with the activity and how it was resolved. If all students are on task and finish appropriately, the teacher will then move on to closing the lesson. If there seems to be a question asked more than once, the teacher will gain the student's attention and go over the response with the whole group. Oh, Katie, I love your chart that you just completed there. What does your definition in your own words say?
Assist is to help someone with something.
Oh, that is awesome. Great job. And what is your picture that you drew to help you remember the word?
I'm assisting my friend Ben with some tissues because he's crying because he stubbed his toe.
Oh, great. I love it. And I love your synonyms and your antonyms there. Very good job. Okay, so now would anyone like to share their work that they completed?
I would.
Okay, Katie, go for it. Which vocabulary word chart would you like to share?
I'm going to show my vocabulary word chart with the word assist.
Okay, great.
So the word assist means to help someone with something. The picture that I drew was a girl, me, assisting my friend Ben with a tissue because he was crying. And so
Then the synonym that I found using my dictionary was the word sustain, and an antonym that I found using my dictionary was hinder. And then I had to write a sentence, and so I wrote, I had to assist my friend Ben with his tears, so I gave him a tissue. Oh, that is so great. Does anyone have any questions or disagreements with Katie's chart? No? Oh, okay, good. And does anyone else from any other group have anything different for their word response? No? Okay, great. So I'm really proud of all of you guys. You all completed this assignment really well. You took your time with it, and you all did a really great job. So I'm going to collect those at the end, but for now, what we're going to do is, now that we solved all of the mystery words, we're going to play a fun game and test our new knowledge and play a game called Jeopardy! And I'll explain that to you in just a second. Now that the students all have a good understanding of the assignment, the teacher will play with the class a Jeopardy! Game using the vocabulary words. During this activity, the teacher will gain a better understanding of each individual student's understanding of how to make a word meaning and picture association, and how well they now retain each word. By allowing students the option to use either a print dictionary or an iPad to find the definitions, the teacher is accommodating the needs of students with various disabilities. By allowing students the option to work independently, with a partner, or in a small group also accommodates those who have varying needs on completing tasks. By scaffolding the instructions and asking students clarifying questions, the teacher is also ensuring that every student in the class has a deep enough understanding. The teacher will also ensure that she asks each student comprehension questions as they work individually. By allowing students enough time to think about what they want to say, as well as providing students the opportunity to raise their hand and discuss or write down their responses, the teacher is increasing their opportunities to respond. The teacher will collect data by collecting the completed word association charts of each student. The teacher will make any necessary corrections and will hand back the charts for students to practice. By observing the students' work and asking comprehension questions, the teacher can jot down notes that will later help her assess whether or not each student understands the concept. By collecting and reading each chart, the teacher will be able to use the data to assess the objective and monitor the instruction.